So these checks are the same as the general motoring public should carry out. It's recommended as best practice. And first we'll look at the tyres. We'll look at the tread depth on the tyre. We'll make sure it's at the legal limit, or certainly above the legal limit of 1.6 millimetres across the central area of the tyre. We'll make sure that there's no excessive tread wear on the outside of the tyre, and we'll make sure that the tyres are inflated correctly, not underinflated or not overinflated, as they will obviously affect fuel economy for sure. Okay. We'll also look at the structure of the tyre. We'll look for lumps, cuts, tears and bulges in the tyre. Anything really which is affecting the capability of the tyre on the road. We want good tyres, and on our vehicles we change them at 3 millimetres, which for us is best practice to maintain good tyres on the road surface throughout the year. In terms of members of the public, obviously it's got to be more than 1.6 millimetres, but no, good solid tyres, that's what we're after. Having looked at the tyres, we start to move on to the lights then, and we make sure that the lenses of the lights are clear as well. We check the indicators which are housed in the front on this as well, in the same light cluster. Moving on from those lights though, we look at the side repeater indicators as well. We make sure they are functioning correctly as we move down to the back of the vehicle, and we look at the rear lights as well. Same with the rear lights, the light clusters, they need to be clear and clean. We need to make sure that the side lights are working. We need to make sure that the brake lights are working. If you can't do it yourself, then let's get a friend, let's get a colleague, member of the public to stand at the rear and then operate your lights. I'll let them tell you that they're working. Let's make sure that those lenses are kept clean. It's the same with your number plates as well. Just make sure that's visible and the dirt scraped off it. But just as importantly, in the winter when it's snowy, let's make sure the glass is clear all around the vehicle to maintain that full visibility that you need. Let's make sure the ice is off the roof as well and off the bonnet, so it doesn't fly off or land on a vehicle that's travelling behind. But once we've done the outside of the car, we've done the tyres, we've done the lights, let's go and have a look under the bonnet. Obviously it's good to know where your bonnet catch is, but once it's up, then you can start to identify where the various fluids are that you need to be checking. In most cars, user serviceable parts have got yellow markings on them so that you know what you can and can't sort of interact with. In this case though, the fluids for the washer bottle, it's a blue cap, and we just check that it's filled up. We can tell by when it's up to the filter that it's full. Members of the public, you might have a gauge on your dashboard that will tell you when it's empty, but just keep that topped up. You need to maintain that visibility in the winter, so you need full windscreen washer bottles so they can clean the screen off. Obviously check your wiper blades as well. Good effective wiper blades with a good sweep and they clear your field of vision. Moving across, we check the oil. Dipstick there, make sure you've got enough oil, make sure your engine's looked after. It elongates the life of the engine certainly. If you've got the right oil level, use the dipstick, make sure it's where it should be. Radiator, make sure that you've got the correct radiator coolant in there. In the winter, then we have coolants that work at, or antifreeze coolant that works at lower levels, lower temperature levels to prevent it freezing in the engine. So all the stuff that we do as traffic officers is all the stuff that you should be doing as a motoring public to make your vehicle safe for use on the winter roads.